Jamal Turner is a way better friend than I am. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back for another Mask and Bemoaning, where we do a little pop culture segment. And today we're going to be talking about the second season of On My Block. And actually, I'm going to do it by episodes. Now, I know you're saying that this is Nessie. This is called Masking and Bemoaning, and you don't have a mask on today. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a little break from the mask, but still reviewing the season and episode by episode. That's how I decided to do it this time, so that, you know, keep this on pushing, because I am going through a little something with my skin. I have said that I go see the dermatologist this week, so hopefully we'll clear that on up and then we'll be back to Mask City. But until then, the pop culture will continue. So, and this contains spoilers, so letting you guys know straight out the gate. And if you ain't, and even if I spoil it for you, maybe this is just me, but spoilers don't mean nothing to me, because I still need context. Even if I have you, they give you context in the spoilers, I still like to see it unfold for myself. But you have been forewarned. All right, so the second season of first episode of On My Block opens up with a montage with the song called Glitter. One of the and I will insert the artist's name. I have my notes here. This is what you'll see. So it's just me, my notes, and forward-facing camera. So the season opens with a montage of all of the people who have been dying or who got shot from. That's basically, you know, the gang war. Is the streets are hot between the Prophets, which are our black gang, and the Santos, which is the gang that we're familiar with. One criticism, and I'll get more into it throughout this whole, as I talk about On My Block, the Prophets need to be fleshed out. I know that, like I've said, you know, we know that Caesar is affiliated with him, and that's not only affiliated, like that's literally his family, like his brother is Spooky. Again, you know, it's the whatever the Mexican version of the HNIC of it is, that he is the head of particularly this chapter of Santos on their block. So and it's also, so we'll keep that in mind. I understand it, but there are a few more things that need to be fleshed out, because again, we're getting back to that racial component, which I'm just, hopefully they get a season 3 and they see more of that. I do hope that we see more black characters, even though we actually do see more black kids, but they don't have any kind of characterizations, and I don't think it's cool that it's kind of like you setting up the black people besides, you know, Jamal, besides the good ones as they do in society. A lot that, but everyone else is kind of the big bad black. So they should be mindful because of the way that is kind of being sized up in the show. This point will come up again later on towards the end of the season, because we do get some you know, they humanize the Santos, and I do know that, you know, like I said, the Santos, and not only that they happen to be Latino, it is that everyone is very light. There's no one that is darker than a paper bag. We have not really gotten into Afro-Latinos, even though Monse technically is an Afro-Latino. She was raised by her black, like regular black father, who actually grew up with the Prophets, so I think they could take it that way in the future, but we'll put a pin in that. But anyway, it opens up because all this has been happening on both sides. It's mostly children and people that are not necessarily affiliated with the gang, but as you know, with the gangs, either one, Santos or the Prophets, but you just see a bunch of kids getting killed up. And all of this, the show opens up on New Year's Eve. Everyone's prepared to go to Ruby's house. Now, if you watched the end of last season, you know that Ruby got shot. And he was breathing real hollow. Everyone thinking that maybe Ruby had died, but Ruby didn't die. Olivia did die. that was fine, and they dealt with it respectfully, but it was okay that she went. She was not one of the main 4 characters. She's not actually blood related to anybody in the show, so, and the way that, you know, but she still was an innocent girl, regardless of what you think about whatever was going on with the actress. Who, again, you cast this white girl to play somebody Latino, but you made sure that everybody else that's playing Latino is in fact a Latino. That's another issue. But she ain't here no more. But that does, her memory lingers on. So, you know, and it shows this whole montage. It's really well done. The cinematography has really stepped up this season. And then going forward, everyone's getting ready to go to Ruby's house. Ruby has not, well, he had been in the hospital too. So it's about a month after her, well, a little more than a month after her King Say. So this is past Christmas, well, it's New Year's Eve. Y'all know how the year goes. So, and this is the first time he has seen his friends. Everyone's getting ready, including Monse and Caesar. Caesar is staying with Monse because, as you remember, that Monse's father is a long haul trucker, so he is not there as much. Caesar done been kicked out by the gang and his home because, as we have said again, Spooky, his older brother, who is his legal guardian, is the head of it. So that's what's making it complicated. That complication will reoccur throughout the season. And because he failed to kill Latrell, the black boy of the prophets, is the one that kills Olivia, shot Ruby as he was trying to get to Caesar because Caesar decided to show mercy. You know, Caesar is not a gangster, and regardless of, you know, what's in his blood, I mean, but you know, the one thing you do see through all of this is, you know, my boy didn't really have a choice. Even, you know, he's annoying and young, but again, they're like 14, because he has not turned 15. He turns 15 later on, and he has had to have heavy choices like everybody in the gang. Everyone of his family members, every male member of his family has been a member of the Santos. That's all. So, you know, how is that gonna go for him? And I mean, like, again, your brother's the, you know, the head cheese. So, okay, so Monse is talking to her father, and of course, you know, Caesar comes. He has been staying with her because he don't have nowhere else to go. So of course, you know, he comes in the background talking about he burnt the cookie, so that's what he was going. I guess he was gonna bring to the party. But, you know, and then they young, they ain't smooth. He could just been like, everybody is over here getting ready to go to Ruby's house. She didn't play it at all, so her daddy was like, he don't need to be over there, which is understandable. And I've seen some people, but they were kind of young, kind of talk about, well, that was kind of cold. And even though it makes up for it later on that he is just a kid, but, you know, your man got a target on his back. Not only from the prophets, you know, he don't have no kind of protection from the Santos, because again, he's been DP'd. I didn't know what that was. I thought it was something nasty. I'm not gonna say, you know what you thought it's. I'm not gonna get into it. But anywho, and then we move on to Ruby, back his house. They're preparing. He's all laying still, and the first time he's been able to, it's the first time he's able to party. He's reminiscing with his grandmother about Olivia, and he has to go to physical therapy. He's going through the motions, but he has not gone to, okay, so this, and it's a reoccurring point that Ruby has not had anything to deal with his the way he's feeling mentally or emotionally. He does not know how to approach it. His parents don't know how to approach it, and I think that it's important that this is shown, because, you know, us kids of color, you know, we have the issues with therapy. Some of us have a little mental something going on, and understandable, he went through something quite traumatic and dramatic, but he hasn't dealt with that. So he gets high with his Abuelita. Abuelita is one of my favorite characters. She's a cool girl. You know, his granny smokes pot, and he's high the whole time. If we go over to Jamal found the roller world money. And he decided that this is going to be the day that he's going to tell everyone about it. He was going back and forth with himself, talking to that gnome, Juanita, the stripping gnome, that he was going to tell everyone about it, and which was a good enough time because this is the first time they had all seen each other. So I'm not necessarily sure if, you know, it's not clear if Caesar, Monse, and Jamal have talked to each other, but Ruby has not too long gotten out of the hospital. Okay. And of course we can go back to, as we cut back over to Monse and Caesar. Caesar's in limbo. Caesar does not feel comfortable enough to go to Ruby's house. Because again, if no one has seen him and he's like he can't do it, and he might think that because basically he feels like Olivia getting killed was his fault. So he thinks that Ruby might feel this way, and he doesn't want to know how to bring it up. Like they ain't said, you know, bum to each other. And so he can't do it. He ends up going to try to talk to his brother. It does not work out. So he still remains in limbo out here on the streets. And we cut to the New Year's Eve dinner with Ruby's family. Ruby's brother, Mario. We only saw him for like a piece of episode 1, season 1. Just that he was going to Berkeley. He's very smart. He's supposed to be very book smart. You know, he finally got out the hood. He was going back and forth with his ex-girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, talking about, well, if once I go to college, I'm gone. I'll be hooking up with different chicks, white chicks, and I guess he did because he comes back with Amber, who is this pregnant white girl, which oh my goodness, she was tone deaf. She meant well, but she was realistically tone deaf the way some white people are. It was just like, oh yeah, mama, when I'm gonna have a white Tina, which is white Latina, but she was not having a girl, but a white Tina, a white plus Latino child, and she was talking about I didn't grow up with many POC, and I just want to apologize for all the things that we've done to you, your people, kind of thing. And it's just like, oh, you have made New Year's Eve dinner so uncomfortable for no reason. It didn't have to be like that. Yeah, and also Mario, he said he didn't drop out of school. He's taking a sabbatical, but I don't know how that's gonna work. You taking it for maybe like a semester, so it all works out, but still. You was having this girl who had this girl that has a full gut of human, and I don't necessarily know that, like one semester and you didn't have anywhere else to go. You clearly were not working this time while you were staying at your parents' house, how that was going to work out. So, and his mother, Henny spelled Jenny, is not having it. Which, I don't blame her because, dang. And like I said, this girl was heavily pregnant. And of course, since all this drama going on, mother goes to go answer the door, and it's Caesar, because it didn't work out with his brother, as I said before, and she turns him away because he's bringing violence into the house. Now nobody else knows this because his affiliation, which that was cold, but I get it. I wouldn't necessarily know if I could do the right thing and be like, yeah, come on in, even though you got my baby shot and I thought my baby was gonna die, and my friend's kid who was under my watchful eye ends up dying. So that point is always, I like that they dealt with it, but they didn't really drag it out. It is touched upon because as we go throughout the rest of this season, and we'll see at this episode is where it starts up, that Ruby has some post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and it's like, of course, certain things trigger it. Like, since it's New Year's Eve, in New Year's Eve fashion, he's giving his toast. It sounds like all of the good things. But then everyone starts doing those little poppers. And those poppers, they sound like gunshots. They have and they do have little smoke, but you know, inside is just like confetti or little streamers or whatever. Like, they're fun, they're a good time. But if you've been shot, I couldn't see, or been shot at, I couldn't see you wanting to hear that. And of course, and no one is like noticing it. And the way that they did that scene is really done. It's like, slow down, like he's just going through it, hyperventilating to the point, and everyone's hugging him and giving Ruby all this love as one would do for their, you know, child. And we're all happy, giving hugs and kisses. And he runs outside just to get some air. It's like he can't breathe. He's having a panic attack from it. And there is Caesar out in front of, because they do, like I said at the beginning of this video, for all the people that have been shot by the gang violence, they're like little shrines to them, or, you know, little collective of pictures and prayers and candles and stuffed animals and all that kind of stuff. You've seen them before. Like, we see them around, and you might see them in your neighborhood if you have gang violence or people that have had car crashes. There's always like flowers and stuff. Well, if anyone has kind of died right in that area, that's where they put them. So there's one right outside his house, because again, you know, the trio came through and shot up at the Quinceañera and bounced. So he runs out, and him and Caesar have a cry about it. And another thing that is very well done is that I love that the boys in this series do show emotion, instead of everybody being so hard, and no one tries to downplay particularly what Ruby has gone through, and really all of them have gone through, because everyone was one at the party besides Jamal. So everyone else saw Olivia get shot. Everyone else, even if they are not at the party, they live in Free Ridge, so, which is, you know, South Central LA is where it's supposed, so they still have a lot of gang violence. So even for the people that were not there, they have had their lives touched in some way with this. So Ruby basically tells Caesar that he's not mad at him. He understands. He wants this to stop hurting, though. And I will come back to that, because again, you talking about it with you, a 14-year-old, talking to it with another 14-year-old, it's not helping. Ruby needs professional help. And then throughout this conversation, Jamal and Monse come out, and they have a little powwow remembrance about Olivia. And at the same time, they do a little dragging of the actress, because her even though it was cute, but it was like in a way you would drag your friend, like, and they was making fun of like her Spanish was terrible. You know, it was just like, so, because Ruby gives her a Spanish-English dictionary, you know, he was like, what? And they laughed at him, that was a horrible gift, but he was like, what's wrong with trying to help your friend better themselves? First of all, the shade. Second, that is also very true, but it seems like something that you would give a friend. So yeah, they are talking, going back and forth, and they have a good talk, because again, most of them have not seen Ruby since he got shot. And at the same part, this is where Jamal tells them that he found the Roll World money. Yeah, and I will say it maybe in every episode, Jamal Turner deserves better than the friends that he has. I would like for Jamal to have a more fleshed out, just his characterization, because Brett Gray, who is the young man that plays Jamal, is a really good actor, and he's like the funniest character between him and Jasmine, and both of them do deserve better. But the fact that he, you know, he is the one that dug up the football field. He is the one who dealt with Chivo. He is the one who went, he actually was trying to get all in, and Spooky didn't really know though either. So Spooky was not much help. Spooky kind of shared what he knew about Little Ricky. Little Ricky, I don't think Little Ricky is dead, but to everyone else, he is dead. So that's as much as Little Ricky goes to. And if you do pay attention to some of Spooky's tattoos, he has R.I.P. LR, that's clearly Little Ricky, and he's brought up like a myth. I guess he's the starter of Santos, so he has a mythology around him. So we do hear him referred to, but don't nobody die and there ain't no kind of record of him, and y'all knew him and loved him so much. I'm of the opinion that Chivo is in fact Little Ricky, but we'll come back to that at another point. It's not shown out, but that could be something that we discover in the 3rd season. But yeah, and when he went to go take them to the house to show the money, they were so rude. And it was just like, but I was like, y'all niggas didn't help. So that's what really got me. I was like, so that's why I'm saying Jamal is a better friend than I could be. Especially, like, I wouldn't have told nobody but Ebates. Now, I know it's a lot. It was a lot of money. Again, they are 14. He needs to clean this money. This money is like 37 years old. And that no one has seen it. It's a myth of their city, that really their neighborhood. Let's not do the whole city of South Central Los Angeles, but it's the myth of Free Ridge. Anyone that knew is like, oh, you know, that they got that world money, this, that. So it still comes up, but it's dirty. It's dirty money. The bills don't look the same. What and how your parent, you live in this, I wouldn't say they live in the hood, but it's clearly I would say working class, middle class neighborhood. These kids are not rich. They go to public school. All their parents work. So it's clear that there would be no way that it wouldn't raise any kind of suspicion that a 14-year-old had found it was like $250K. Or $200K, because one, Jamal spent a little, and he could have spent a little more. But people would notice, obviously, if you had that much, and it was all cash. If you had that much, that all the bills are old, so this is dirty money. Y'all got gang stuff, people robbing back and forth. You know, he couldn't do that real smooth, but he goes into his closet to find it, and then the money is gone. That is how the episode ends. But I'm going to end this video by saying y'all need to put some Monse, Caesar, particularly Monse and Caesar. Caesar, you're ungrateful. First of all, that's another thing going on. You the one out here need all the help. You the one that you got kicked out by your brother and don't know about it. Now, that's not your fault. Really, he's a child, and I recognize that. Like, they are all kids. But sometimes with all of them, I just want to shake them because it's like, oh, y'all so ungrateful and y'all talk so ugly. Particularly to Jamal. It's like he is a comic relief, but like he's a person and your friend went through all this trouble. He found this money and stayed on it, which eventually does get it was brought up and they kept up with it to help Caesar out in particular. And that comes up again throughout the season. But the way y'all talk to him, like, how dare y'all? He shouldn't give y'all nothing. That's the mean part of it. I mean, if we're going to be Christian, you know, I give you a little something to get out your situation. But I mean, even if you can do that, there's only so much he can do that any of you can do. Because again, y'all are 14 years old. 14 going on 15. 14, 15. Y'all still freshmen in high school. Y'all still in the first year. We're just going into the second semester of freshman year by the time school gets back to starting this season. So y'all could, you know, stand to be just a tinge more nicer to Jamal. I said in particular, I do not like that how mean Monse and Caesar are to him. It's like you're dismissive. Yeah, Jamal is weird, but like, y'all, like, come on. Jamal has everybody's back and he is staying on it in a way that y'all didn't. Like, we see him rolling in the money and doing all that, so we know the money is real. We saw him find the money at the end of last season. The very last shot, maybe not the last shot, but last couple of shots, it was him riding home on his bike with that money. So, you know, if you want to partake in these riches that I got, even though y'all didn't really help. Like, yeah, we did a little goose chase. The Chivo set up, that was real cute, but that wasn't really how you got it. Like, Jamal figured all that out by himself, and the only person that really actually helped him was Ebates. So if you wanted to keep it a buck, he should have just shared it with Ebates, and the rest of y'all can kick rocks. We ain't gotta be friends no more. I'm rich. Okay, that's enough of that. I'll get back to you guys with this episode number 2. And y'all have a good and blessed day. And remember that Nessie loves you. Bye. And you can stream on my blog the whole series. Not the whole series. The first and second season is all on Netflix. They drop them all on the same day. Alright. So I'll be back with the episode 2 of season 2 with the next video. Bye.